Hey guys, it's Lando from the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast, and I'm here to talk to you about some emergency ads. Obviously, we found out that the Tennessee-Pittsburgh game has been postponed. It's now their bye week, and you need to add players that can get you by this week, that will not get you a zero, that potentially could help you win a matchup. For me, it's going to be between floor and ceiling depending on what you need. And I'm going to go through each position. I'm going to look at players that are widely available in your leagues and tell you whether or not I would pick them up, and I will recommend some players that I would pick up. So obviously we're missing, at the quarterback position, we're missing Big Ben Roethlisberger and Ryan Tannehill. If you had those players, you're probably streaming the position anyways unless you're in a 2 quarterback lead. So right away, I'm going to go Baker Mayfield is only 42% owned. I would pick him up versus Dallas. I think that should be a great start. Next, I would look at, so if he's not available, I'm going to go deeper down the list. Ryan Fitzpatrick is 18% rostered in Yahoo leagues. He's a great play against Seattle. And then Teddy Bridgewater would be my last one. He's 17% owned in Yahoo leagues. That would be my third quarterback option. All those guys should be fine. They're going to get you through the week without getting you zeros at the position, and that's what we're looking for. At the wide receiver position, if you had like the Deontay Johnson, JuJu Smith-Schuster, if you were hoping A.J. Brown would play this week or Corey Davis, you need some help here. So right now, still Brandon Ayuk is 53% owned. They play Philadelphia, but he was a hot waiver ad, so he might not be available. One thing I'll go with Russell Gage. He was dropped in a lot of leagues, and he's practicing this week. So against Green Bay, I think Russell Gage gives you a safe floor based on the amount those guys pass the football. Next, even further down the list, 35% owned, I'm looking at Nicole Hardman. He had a really good week last week against Baltimore, and I think versus New England, there's a chance that he could do it again. He's that more upside play. I mean, his floor is close to that 0 mark, but you're going to get a 0 anyways if you start a JuJu, right, guys? So, one guy with a safer floor that was highly owned this week is Hunter Renfrow. He's probably one of my favorite ads. He should be the number 1 target for Derek Carr in Las Vegas. He's only 33% owned. And then one guy I also like is Curtis Samuel. They play Arizona. If you want to stack him with Teddy Bridgewater, you could totally do that. And I think he also provides somewhat of a safe floor as well. If I'm going down further down the list, 9% owned, Greg Ward, again, the number 1 target in Philadelphia. I mean, besides Zach Ertz, of course, but he's a low-end, bottom-of-the-barrel wide receiver that you could start if you have to. He should be available almost everywhere. Running back is tough. Running back's very difficult. There's not a lot of running backs that can get you any kind of carries, but we're going to go through here and figure out what we can do. Obviously, we will start with, James White is 67% owned, but he still might not play. I can go with Joshua Kelly. He might have been dropped in your league. He provides a safe floor. It is a tough matchup against Tampa Bay, but he's 57% owned, and I think you have at least a chance at a touchdown with Joshua Kelly. Malcolm Brown, if he's around at 42%, I think that's available as well. Keep going down this list. Chase Edmonds will provide somewhat of a floor versus Carolina. Kerryon Johnson at 30% owned in Yahoo leagues. I think Kerryon Johnson should still get enough carries to make it relevant. It's a tough matchup against New Orleans, but he's the guy that I would have to add in the spot start. I mean, it's a drastic difference between James Conner, Hunter Henry versus a guy like Kerryon Johnson, but sometimes this is what you need to get us through. My last guy, a guy that was added in a lot of leagues, Brian Hill, looked really good as Todd Gurley's backup in Atlanta. They play Green Bay, like I said, and he's an option at the running back position. Besides that, guys, there is not much at the running back spot. Maybe J.J. Taylor, New England running back. He's only 1% owned. J.D. McKissick versus Washington. Gus Edwards, Baltimore running back is a guy that I liked in DFS because of the game script versus Washington. He might just get 10 carries to finish the game out. That might be just the down in the dumps. He's only 2% owned. He's going to be available in your league 100%. Gus Edwards might be where it's at, but that's scary. That's super scary, guys. I don't feel for you if you have to start Gus Edwards in your fantasy league. Tight end position maybe isn't too bad. Rob Gronkowski is 57% owned. He's a guy that I know a lot of people added. My co-host added him in a league. They play the Chargers. It's not terrible. Jimmy Graham is only 41% owned. I like him better than Gronk. If Jimmy's still available in your league, pick him right now if you had Jonnu Smith and start Jimmy Graham, no question. If you got to go down, guys, if it's still further down the list, I'm looking at Jordan Aitkins, the Houston tight end. He's only 12% owned. He should be available. I don't mind Jordan Aitkins, especially in a really good matchup versus Minnesota. This is someone that has touchdown upside, has probably only 5 catches in him at the most. But if one goes for a touchdown, that's all you're looking for. Finally, a guy that was picked up a few weeks ago or last week, but was dropped shortly after. That's going to be Drew Sample, tight end for Cincinnati. Should get targets. Hopefully, Joe Burrow goes back to him. But that's all for now, guys. Hopefully, you can start someone decent. And good luck in your waiver wires. If you have any more questions, drop the question below. And thanks for following. Get me on Twitter at Lando_FF. Thanks, guys.